Hey gang, Sean asked me to do a quick video of my setup on my bike, what I call my dashboard. Basically, to start, it just consists of a Samsung Galaxy Tab A, just your standard Android tablet. But you'll notice right out of the gate that my launcher isn't your typical Android screen. I'm using an app called Big Launcher. It allows you to basically create, like what it says, big launching buttons. So instead of, when you're on the road, instead of looking at very small icons or groups of icons, this thing allows you to have big buttons, which can lead you to other menus or to your apps, settings, etc. So Big Launcher is what I use for my primary screen. But when it comes to using this as a dashboard for gauges on my bike, I do a few different things. You'll notice that I have various icons. The very first one is an icon of a green bicycle. That's my motorcycle apps. Different things in here. I have one for what's called Car Auto Pro or something. I can never remember the names. But then I have a speedometer app, music, an app or an icon for Google Maps, etc. But before I get into my gauges, let me just turn on the ignition on my bike. There we go. And what I do is I have an app called Automate. This app basically automates. It's one button touch for automation of different settings. It allows you to do an automated control of various settings from a scripting standpoint for different things that you need to change when changing between apps. So for example, when I run the Car Pro app, I'll click the steering wheel. And what it's actually doing is Automate is running in the background. And it started by turning on my Bluetooth interface. And then it started, once Bluetooth is enabled, and then it started a synchronization with the OBD2 module that I have under the seat of the bike. And as you can see right now, the auto app is synchronizing with the OBD2 and the ECU of the motorcycle. And there's a setting, so once it's done, it goes automatically into dashboard mode. You don't have to have it this way, but for riding purposes, that's what I do, is I tell it to immediately go into dashboard mode. And the very first screen that comes up once the Automate Pro is running, the first screen is nothing but gauges for my speedometer and my RPM, my tach. So that's screen 1 of 2, and if I swipe, I get screen 2 of 2, which does some other things. The air intake temp, ODB voltage, coolant temp, throttle position, and timing advance. And that's pretty much the only gauges, or the only meters that are available in the OBD2 module for the Triumph motorcycle. So there are a couple other minor ones, but nothing of significance. So there's not a whole lot that the OBD2 has access to in the ECU for scan points. So basic gauges here. The Auto Pro and the ODB module can read error codes. So this is a cool module to have even around the house. You can plug it into your car, plug it into another bike, synchronize it with your Auto Pro app, and you can read all your gauges, read all your error codes, look at gauges on the other vehicles. So it's really cool. It doesn't have to be just for your bike. Perfect tool for around the house. I'll put all the links to the different things that I do, that I use for apps and for the hardware. But basically, you can pick up the OBD2 module for like 25 bucks on Amazon. The other apps like the car app, $5. The Automate app, another $5. The big launcher, another $5. So they're not. It's not like it's expensive. You can get into this just for a few bucks, really. Going back to my screen, my primary screen. Once the bike is running, you can see the RPM. Let me start the bike and I'll show you that. Now, this is going to be a little difficult. I got to start the bike by holding in the clutch and holding in my camera. So kickstand's down, so I'll try it again. So you can see it's fairly responsive. Turning my ignition back on. So it's a fairly responsive app as far as gauges. Let's see if I recorded anything. And my coolant temp 82, air intake 82, so I didn't run it long enough to really to change the temperatures, but you know, you can see how that works. Going back to the primary screen, the options screen of the Car Scanner Pro, you can see that you can go in, you can look at live data, you can look at all sensors. If we look at all sensors, you can get a list of all the sensors, things like that. Just a whole lot of stuff that you can do with this tool. Live data, torque ratings, you know, really a cool tool to have around the house. Diagnostic trouble codes. Let's see, read, probably nothing going on. So that's pretty much what you have. So if you have any questions, I'll put all the links, you know, down below in the description, but that's pretty much it. My granddaughter is calling for me, so I got to go. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, let me know.